The mosque and school or madrasa of Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay, or the Ashrafite school, is located at the intersection of the street of Al-Mu'izz Lidinillah Al-Fatimi with the street of Jawhar Al-Qaid. Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay began construction on his mosque in 1424 AD. It is one of 3 mosques built by Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay. The second mosque, built by him, includes his tomb and mausoleum, or Khanqah, and is situated at the Mamluk cemetery. All 3 mosques constructed by Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay are distinguished for their beautiful design, as the art of marble making and gypsum molded colored glass windows had reached a very high level of exquisiteness and workmanship. The school or madrasa of Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay is composed of a rectangular with a total area of 1,760 square meters. The school is perpendicular in design. Apart from its above-mentioned area, the school has several annexes, like a drinking fountain, Quranic school, a library, a tomb, and a student lodging. Worth mentioning, the Quranic school was built in the style of the perpendicular design, as it is formed of an open nave surrounded by 4 raised iwans. The school was established to teach the 4 doctrines of Islam. Noteworthy of saying, the Quranic school of Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay is currently the only school in Al-Mu'izz Lidinillah Al-Fatimi Street that still plays the role of a mosque, as it holds the 5 regular prayers and delivers the Friday sermon. The Quranic school of Al-Ashraf Birsebay's mosque lies in Al-Mu'izz Lidinillah Al-Fatimi Street. The school's building is 37.5 meters long and 14 meters high. It doesn't fully extend alongside the street, as it has a little bit of bend. The school has 4 opened windows overlooking the Iwan of the Qibla. Above of those 4 opened windows, there is a group of upper openings in the wall. Sultan Al-Ashraf Birsebay did not stop at what he had constructed in respect of buildings and facilities. His patronage covered schools and mausoleums that had been built before his reign, after being neglected by their directors and religious endowments overseers. As a result, Birsebay formed a council of judges to look into the religious endowments of those schools and review their terms of establishment, so as to ascertain that the overseers had complied with those terms. Sultan al-Ashraf Bersibei then assigned the principalship of those Quranic schools to Shaykh of Islam, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Accordingly, those Quranic schools started to contribute to the activation of the scientific movement, thereby sciences and arts began to flourish. Al-Ashraf Saifuddin Bersibei is the 32nd Sultan in the chronological order of the Sultans of the Mamluk Kingdom. He is considered one of the greatest Sultans of the Mamluk state, and by him, the island of Cyprus was conquered. Sultan Bersibei started his life the way thousands of Mamluks who had been brought into Egypt did. They would receive religious education and special training in the arts of war and fighting. Then they would join the service of sultans and high-ranking princes, and so the talents and aptitudes of some of them would exceed them to leadership positions in the state. Even more, some of them might become extremely fortunate that they would rise to power and be rulers of the sultanate. Such a joint lift would put them in the spotlight and make them the icons upon which people's hopes and expectations are pinned. This comes in contrast to their past, as they were a group of unknowns of obscure origins, yet their vigor and earnest attempts or intelligence and resourcefulness raised them to such a rank. During the time he spent in power, and that's around 17 years, Sultan al-Ashraf Bersibei succeeded in spreading security and stability nationwide and in suppressing the revolts and seditions which broke out across the country and in cracking down on outlaws too. And after staying for nearly 17 years in rule, Sultan al-Ashraf Bersibei died in 1437 AD, leaving behind a name connected to jihad against the Crusaders, as he annexed to his kingdom the island of Cyprus, an achievement that imparted glamour and fame to his sultanate.